Okay, so let's see. Perfect. Hi guys, hope you are doing good, doing well. So yeah, I think Vijay is just going to join in maybe in another few seconds, maybe in 30 seconds or so, and then we'll be starting the session. But today I'm so excited about the session today because yeah, it's going to be different. Vijay is going to come live with us. He's there now. I can see him.
Hey, hi.
So, hi Vijay. So,
Hi,
yeah,
Sandeep.
yeah,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see
I'm
you.
good. I'm good as well.
Perfect,
Uh,
perfect. So, glad to have you here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this because it is something different. Normally, we post about, we do live sessions about moving abroad, getting hired abroad from India or some other countries. But it is different for the people to understand, okay,
mhm,
because most of the audience is in Indian. So, that can be or that will be actually
mhm,
a lot of motivation for the people. Okay, not just okay, I cannot, it's not that okay, I'm going for study, I'm going for to get a job. Of course I have the other options. It's just that okay, I need to understand what should be my path, and there is someone who did it, so it gives the courage to the people.
I'm glad if my journey could help someone listening to this piece of audio
100%.
or video.
100%, 100%. So let us start.
hmm
So yeah, as we have spoken couple of times, you have shared about yourself and
hmm
how did you move and all. So yeah, just introduce yourself briefly,
hmm
how Germany happened and
Yes.
how you are here, and yeah, and then we'll touch upon
Sure.
different things further down. Yeah.
Sure. So myself, Vijay. I originally come from Chennai in India, but been living in Germany, in Munich, to be precise, for the last 12 years. It's almost 12 years within the next 2 to 3 months. And I first came here for my master's. So
Mhm.
master's, getting my master's degree was the
Mhm.
reason why I was pulled into Germany. And then I did my working student, which is what people can do here while doing their master's, which is a good thing for every student doing their master's in Germany. And then I worked, I did my internship, I did my thesis at the same company where I started, and then worked for big companies like Volkswagen and Siemens later on, two big German multinational companies.
Mhm.
And then started my own company in 2020 during pandemic, 2020, 2021. That is
Mhm.
where all the madness of bitsCrunch started. So bitsCrunch is the name of the company. And yeah, it's going well. It's been 5 years. We have raised nearly 12, $13 million
Wow.
in such a short span. And yeah, building, navigating tough winds, navigating all the tough times here and abroad, and now leading a team with more than 30 people in the
Wow.
team.
Wonderful. So yeah, that
Yeah.
is going to be the focus today. Like, okay, um,
hmm
what kind of challenges a person faces
hmm
when you are building a startup, especially in Germany,
Yeah.
right? And then yeah, what are the comparisons between India and Germany? What one
hmm
can expect? What one should consider? Shall I consider Europe or Germany,
hmm
or shall I consider India, or are there any other options? Then,
hmm
of course, we'll also be touching about getting the funding and legal structure,
hmm
or maybe some other points that you would like to share.
hmm Yeah.
Perfect. So,
So
yeah.
yeah, Germany was not my first ideal option, to be honest with you. I
Okay.
first wanted to go to the US, but obviously I come from a middle class, upper middle class family.
Mhm.
So even for me, being in the upper middle class segment, for me, masters in US felt very expensive because I
Okay.
had to pay
Okay.
50, $60,000 easily.
Yeah.
And then there is, very limited amount of time or opportunity for part-time stuff, which is not the case here in Germany. You can work right away on day one.
Yes.
And also, I have to find a job in US, also in this market, the market cycles, it is very tough, right? And so if you have to start your life 50, 60,000 in minus, in negative, that would obviously put a lot of pressure on any individual, right?
Yes.
Be it
Yes.
Vijay, be it Sandeep, anybody, it would put a lot of pressure initially upfront, even before you start your career. And that is an ideal, isn't a pleasant way to start your career. And that is when I started looking into opportunities where it is affordable, where it is also quality, because I didn't want to compromise on the quality, because getting masters is really good, but you need to know where you are doing your masters, right? You cannot just do a master's degree just because they offer it in Antarctica or any
Of
random
course.
country, right? You
Yes.
need to look into the market, you need to look into the job market, you need to look into the professors in the job market of the local country that you're choosing. And that is when I thought, okay, let's choose Germany, which I felt was more economically stable. And then the job market was good. I mean, my career graph is an example, right? What started at Telefonica, then Volkswagen, then Siemens. So all three giants in Germany, and then did a startup, right? So yeah, so Germany is what naturally happened to me.
Yeah.
I didn't pick Germany in the first place.
Yeah. 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 So the way I am understanding that, okay, that was not part of the plan. Okay, I will be doing the startup. What I understand.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, then it connects. Like people will be able to uh, connect and understand that, okay, yes, okay, first I can go for a job, and then if I already have some ideas, I can
Hmm.
consider testing out in future in a place
Hmm.
where it's a different support system or
Yep.
whatever, right?
So,
So yeah, career wise you have already explained.
hmm.
So you said, okay, it all yeah, it's all almost 12 years and now 8 years into job roughly, and 4 to
Hmm.
5 years into your own startup. Can you tell us
Hmm.
more about this, what
Hmm.
actually you guys are doing?
Yep. So at bitsCrunch, we provide data analytics and the forensics in blockchain space. So in real world, there are so many companies that are collecting data, that are making use of the data, right? I mean, practically one in every two applications that we use is powered by data or AI these days.
Yes.
Let's take WhatsApp, for example, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, per se, this Restream, right? Or
Yeah.
StreamYard, whatever platforms that we use. Everything depends on data. They collect a lot of data, they make use of a lot of data, they optimize as they roll, as they develop, right?
Yeah.
So when the world is revolving around data, AI, and machine learning, that is when we thought blockchain also needs that, because one in every 2%, again, they don't even have a clue about blockchain. They don't know what is Bitcoin,
Yes.
they don't know what is Ethereum, they don't know what is trading, what is happening in the space. And that is when we started putting more stress on data. So we want to provide more data-driven analytics to people, and we want to onboard more Vijays and Sandeeps into the space. And how come more Vijays and Sandeeps will onboard into the space? They will look at the data, they analyze what has happened in the past, they look at charts in the past, and that's how they they themselves come into the space. They themselves look into the space, try to build an application or try to use the application, and that's what we have been doing, and it's been doing well. We have partnered with Mastercard, one of the big
Mhm.
payment gateway giants in the world. We have worked with EY, Ernst& and Young. We were Web3 partners of PwC here in Germany. So we have worked with some of the Web2 legends, per se, and then also we have helped a lot of businesses and retail pick up their knowledge in crypto by data-backed analytics.
Perfect. When you say retail, that means I'm just
Hmm.
trying to understand the part of the business.
Hmm.
So, of course, I understand the analytics, right? And when you say retail, do you mean that, okay, you are
Hmm.
integrating with the retail businesses to have some
Mhm.
kind of payment system or to
Mhm.
analyze their business from crypto
Right now,
perspective?
I mean, when I meant retail, it is you and me, right? The
Okay, got
layman
it.
that is a retail
Yeah, yeah.
that is using or exploring blockchain. In general, we are not getting any money. We are not storing anybody's money. We just help whether their investment option is safer or not safer. So we tell you what not to buy. So usually
Okay,
what to buy
okay,
is something that even ChatGPT can tell you.
okay.
But at bitsCrunch, we have APIs where we can tell you what is good, what is bad, what not to buy, and so on, so forth.
Perfect. Makes sense. So when you
Yeah.
say what not to buy, that means the person can
Mhm.
take informed decisions
Exactly.
before purchasing
Buying something.
anything into crypto. Perfect.
True,
I
true,
think that
totally
is the
agree.
best solution. I think that should have been there like
Yeah.
5 to 7 years ago. That would be more even better for so many people like me.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people started losing money, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Including myself.
yeah,
I burned my hands when I first got into the space. I lost some money, and that is when we decided, okay, let's do the policing. Let's be a police and act responsible. And that is when we decided we want to crunch all the bits and pieces of data. So that's how bits crunch was born. We crunch each and every bits of data.
got it. So whatever I have understood from all of this is that okay, I'm new to crypto and
Hmm.
I don't want to do like research and be 100% perfect.
Hmm.
But yes, if
Hmm.
I have access to platform like yours, I can go there
Hmm.
and the most of the policing work is already done there, and I
Yes.
can have a bet which can be
Mhm.
fruitful for me in the future.
Yep. Obviously, yes. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel because we have indexed all the
Perfect.
data. We know what is happening on Bitcoin. We know what is happening on Ethereum, Solana, and all the chains. Every chain is like a playground where anybody can build any stuff. They can build an application. They can build an NFT. They can launch an NFT. They
Yeah,
can create a marketplace. So we at bitsCrunch we monitor what is happening on each and every chain, and that is what we give as a solution. So we are generating revenue. I mean, the revenue numbers have slipped a bit because of the overall market. Iran-Israel war and Trump's tariffs have been tough for the market. But
yeah.
but still, we are one of those revenue generating companies in the crypto space.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. That
Yep.
okay, things are under control. That's the most important thing. Just
Yep.
navigating few months, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Let's go further.
Yes.
So like you rightly said that okay, 50%
Mhm.
of the people or one in two people will not know what is
Mhm.
blockchain, right? So
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
so how did this idea hit to you coming from AI
Mhm.
side, coming from machine learning, data science? That's what I understand your background
Mhm.
is. So
Mhm.
how did you ended up maybe after losing money, or was it something else that okay, it made it you more curious? Okay, I
Yeah.
want to do this.
One is obviously, yes, I lost money. And if I ask around, some people, some friends of mine, they have lost money as well. So everybody was sort of traveling on the same boat. And that's when I was curious about this space. And around that same time frame, there was an Indian who bought $69 million NFT. So he spent
Okay.
$69 million on a single NFT. And an NFT is nothing but a digital image
Yeah.
where you just hang it on your wall, right?
Yeah.
It is just a digital
Fungible
version of
token.
your
Yes.
art. It's a similar image that you have at your background, that van, but in a digital format. So when an Indian, I mean Indians typically we are a very conservative society, right? We don't aggressively spend $16 million for a digital NFT.
Yes.
And when such a guy does that, I was like very curious, and I wanted to see, okay, what is really happening in this space. We started, it all made sense. We started building, looking into the solutions, looking into the chain. And yeah, here we are building for the last 5 years, relentlessly shipping products after products and surviving. That is most important, right? The startup space is very cruel.
Yeah.
If you are not able to survive, then someone else will come and crush you and move ahead. But I'm
100%.
glad that we survived the last 5 years and still a long way to go. but I believe this cycle will be a lot better than the last one.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, yeah,
Yep.
of course, guys, we will be touching upon other things as well. What many of you might be more interested in, okay, legal structure or challenges
Mhm.
or India versus Germany, where to go, taxes, and all benefits, right? So, yeah, I still because I want to know more about Vijay, and so that okay, we understand okay what kind of motivation, courage, struggles you have to go through. You have to be
Mhm.
prepared for that if you are planning for such a
Yep.
thing in Europe, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so do you have teams both in Germany and India, or how is it?
Yes. So the management, the founding team sits in Germany. We have colleagues in Spain, South Korea, China. So we have an international team. So we have a Chinese working from China, Canadian working from South Korea, and Netherlands guy working from Spain.
Wonderful.
And we have the rest of the team is obviously based in India because obviously my roots is India, and we have a big team there because of the ability to hire and the vast country which provides a lot of obviously resources. Resource pool is very big there,
Yeah,
and the budgeting is also a concern for a startup. So we have an international team, but then most of the team, I would say two-thirds of the team is based in India.
wonderful, wonderful. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's nice. Yeah, interesting part is that okay, like you're saying, okay, people are from different countries living in different countries, so it sounds like it's a fully remote structure.
Yep, yep. We have office here in Germany. I'm still
Hmm.
a classic guy who likes to go to the office, sip a coffee, chit chat, and then work. We have an office space in Bangalore as well, but
Hmm.
then we are predominantly a remote company, so we don't have any fixed assets.
Makes sense. Okay, so team size you have already shared, product you have talked about. So let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about okay, how you have already talked about okay, you were curious when this guy purchased
Mm-hmm.
NFTs worth $69 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask, okay, when you started this company, okay, you thought, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go deeper into this. And
Yes.
what made you more interested in this? Of course, that was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you researched further.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, maybe because when you are thinking to start something, of course, you cannot zero down only one thing and then keep going. There is some space, and then you figure out, okay, what I'll be doing in that, right? So and you pivot eventually sometimes based on product
Mm-hmm.
market fit and all that, right? So yeah, how was that journey like? What were the initial struggles there figuring out in terms of product?
Mm-hmm.
How did you zero down, okay, this is the first thing I want to start in this area?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So obviously, you can hear me
yeah, I can hear you.
because I can. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
So obviously funding was the first biggest
Okay.
blocker, right? Because being in a different country, away from home, we need funds definitely to run the company because otherwise you cannot keep putting
Yes.
your own money into a startup, which will be risky at a point, right? And I live with my family. I have to take care of my wife, my child, and the expenses around my everyday living. So, you know, we had a greater struggle at the beginning in order to close the funding. So funding rounds were tough. I had I was clueless at the beginning because I was from what a typical background, right? I was from Siemens, I was from Volkswagen, so I didn't know about the startup space. I didn't have any clue at all about what is funding round, what are the nuances of a date, runway, what are the revenue potential, the projections, the projections. I was totally clueless. So from there to here, it's been a riveting journey, right? It's been a great journey so far, where I have learned a lot from my friends, mentors, and advisors, and that has kept me going, I would say.
Okay. So how did you figure out then, okay, because you are in a new country and I don't know, you
Mm.
were speaking German language at that point of time, right? And then how did you
Yeah.
figure out,
Mhm.
okay, this is how investing or funding works
Yeah.
basically? So,
Yeah. It was It was pandemic. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people's life were lost during that time, but that became a blessing in disguise for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't have anything at all to do. I don't have to travel to Siemens 1 hour up and down, so that means 2 hours of travel time saved. And then
Mm-hmm.
also office hours. Siemens they typically work for 7 to 8 hours max. It is
Okay.
usually 7 hours. My contract is for 7 hours, so 7 hours, and then that's it. Pretty much you have the whole rest of the day with you, right? Because you are locked down, you cannot move out of your home because of pandemic, you cannot step outside your home itself, you cannot even meet your neighbors. So that time, I mean, we sleep roughly 6 to 8 hours, and there is 7 hours of work. So what do I do with the rest of the time, right? And that is when the ideation started. We started speaking to people. I started gathering this idea, gathering feedback about the idea that I had. I spoke to quite a few friends, and then set up a small team, started working on it step by step. It was baby steps that we took initially, but then eventually we ended up getting 750,000 as the first round of funding. That
Wonderful.
was back in 2021. And then shortly afterwards, we were able to raise another $4.3 million. So that's
Brilliant.
how it all started. So I'm still
Wonderful.
grateful for the journey I've been put through.
Okay. So I'll ask you one straightforward hard question here. Was
Yes.
German a challenge in all of this?
Oh, yes, obviously, yes. And luckily for me, blockchain space is quite global. So I didn't have to speak to a lot of German investors. I didn't have to go through a lot of DD in another language because we as Indians, we typically first think in our language. In my case, it was Tamil. So
Yeah.
whatever I used to think, whatever I used to deliver, I used to think in Tamil first and then translate to English, right?
Yeah.
That is how we typically roll. And at the beginning, it was tough to navigate some of the uh, non-native English-speaking professionals or investors. But luckily for me, most of my investors they speak English, so I didn't have to break my back learning something new. Right, I
Yeah.
had a decent German command. I had a decent command of German language, but still, in order to raise money, it's tough. It's not that easy.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Makes sense. Okay. So that let's move to the next one.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
uh yeah, so now let's touch upon India versus Germany. Right?
Yeah.
Like you said that okay, you have a company in India as well as here in
Mhm.
Germany. So that means you understand pros and cons,
Yeah.
differences, legal
Yeah.
structures. So
Yes.
now you have all that knowledge and experience, right? Of course,
Mhm.
you are living here.
Mhm.
If you have to restart, for example,
Mhm. Mhm.
where would you choose?
I would pick US hands down for startup ecosystem because Germany is not a place. It is not an ideal place for startups.
Okay.
Startup space is very slow and low. Uh, Either US or India, because India, for a case, it's also booming. The startups, the
Yeah.
IPOs, the number of IPOs have gone a lot higher, and we are a place where uh, the retail demand is huge. So if you
Hmm.
are planning to build any B2C product,
Yes.
then India is the place to go. But if you're building anything in tech that is futuristic, like an AI stuff, like Perplexity AI, ChatGPT, or the likes of Facebooks and Airbnbs of the world, then I would say US would be the right option. So either US or India, but definitely not Germany, unfortunately.
Maybe, yeah, I understand that. Okay, business side of the things you are mentioning, that's wonderful.
Hmm. Hmm.
What you say about comparisons between India, Germany, in terms
Hmm.
of where is it easy to set up the
Hmm.
business?
Obviously, India. Obviously,
Okay.
India. In fact, our first company was formed in India. We first set up our company in India and started looking for investors. Then got the investment and then set up a company in Germany. So, setting up a company in Germany takes nearly 2 to 3 months, like
Hmm.
crazy. 2 to 3 months. You can actually set up a company in Delaware, US, in like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Just 2 to 3 hours, sitting anywhere in the world. You can create a company in the US, have a post box, have a address for your company and everything, all sorted out with less than $1,000, $2,000 max in 2 to 3 hours. That's how simple the US ecosystem is. And here in Germany, it takes 2 to 3 months. In India, it is relatively better. In India, it takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks. It's not months, at least.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little faster if you know the right people. And opening the bank account, setting up everything takes time. So yeah,
Okay.
obviously, hands down, India is much better when compared to
Got
Germany.
it. Got it. Got it. Still, there should be some advantages of being in Europe.
Obviously, the tag helps, right? Because I was able to raise money because I was seen as an Indo-German entrepreneur, right?
Okay. So
Right,
basically, you
because
went through the chamber.
yeah, obviously, yes,
Got it.
we
Got it.
sort of a Indo-German entrepreneur is a tag that I can use, and I used my tag of TU Munich graduate. TU
Hmm.
Munich is one of the top universities here in Germany, so
Yes.
make use of the tags whenever possible. So in my case, I used TUM tag, I used Siemens tag, I used Volkswagen tag. I was an ex-employee of Volkswagen and Siemens, and then I founded this company. So whenever you can make use of the tags, the little tags that sometimes we even forget about us, right?
Yeah.
Because we might
Yeah.
have an experience working with Accenture, Wipro, or whatnot. Right? But sometimes on the flow we miss it.
Yeah.
But we ourselves, if we look back, we would have been a first prize holder in marathon race. We would have been a winner in cooking championship. We would have been a winner in any creative art competition. So just look back and find out what are the pluses about ourselves and apply that to anywhere that you can think it will work, right? Because investors at the end of the day, they are not looking for somebody who is just working 24/7. They want interpersonal skills. They want somebody who can do cricket, who can play hide and seek with their children, who can cook at the weekends. They want a whole package, right?
Yeah.
They invest into a person who could potentially run a company.
Yeah.
So if you are one such person, then make use of all the tax that you have.
100%. So basically, in a way, you are saying
Hmm.
being in such a place. Of course, your product idea is out of the
Hmm.
box, 100%, no
Hmm.
question, right?
Hmm.
But yes, things I won't say got easy, but yes, things got little less difficult
Yep.
because of this Indo-German tag.
True. True. Totally true.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, makes sense. So yes, someone considering, okay, if I start in India or if I start in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you that yeah. Here, of course, there is an opportunity in India. On
Mm-hmm.
the other hand, there is also like, okay, you also have a equal competition, which
Mm-hmm.
might not be here. Plus, you get the tag,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
So that's a great point to consider,
Yep.
right? So yeah, talking about the taxes.
Hmm.
Okay, as an entrepreneur, talking about the
Hmm.
taxes on the company, for example,
Hmm.
or also as a business owner or founder,
Hmm.
what are the differences in India and Germany in
Hmm.
such cases in both the scenarios? Corporate tax plus the personal
Hmm.
tax.
I mean, pretty much both the countries charge high taxes for anybody, any businesses that are running, right? India is not no any mug with the taxes. They do charge high. They do have a flat 30% tax on any personal income. Sometimes it goes higher with your income, 30, 35, nearly 35 percentage in India. And personal taxes, what, 40, 42, 45 here in Germany, depends on where your salary slab is. But one good thing is here in Germany, at least there are ways you get some benefits back, either in form of health insurance is covered in that 30, 40 percentage. So you don't have to pay for your health, right? I don't pay my doctor if I have cough or if I have fever or if I have any major issues as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even up to certain a few 100,000 euros, it is covered, which is good. So I don't have to take stress on saving for my health, which is not the case in India. Even after paying all the tax, you still have to create a health insurance, pay for it, and then make yourself secured for all the unfortunate events that could potentially happen. And that is good. And all the um sort of livable ways. Like I have a very good infrastructure here in Germany, which also in a way where I feel okay, I have contributed in some parts through the tax, right? So that is one. In India, yes, the benefit is you can lower your taxes if you have any loans, uh, any any stuff that you can redeem, right? You can show that as a burden on your income, and then there'll be some tax difference, which is not the case in Germany. So you are flat tax most cases in most
But
cases.
it's a business expense.
I don't know. I'm not talking. I'm entirely talking about the personal side now. And
Okay.
now then comes the business side. So
Okay.
business expense, yes. I mean, I don't think there is a lot of difference between the taxation between different both the countries. Yeah, there are some tax spots here in Germany as well. If you look at Munich, there is this place called Grunwald.
Yeah.
If you set up a company there, your taxation would be around 8 to 12%. But in the rest of the country, it is 15%, rest of the place in Munich. So you also have these tax hotspots,
Okay.
right, where you can potentially exploit and make use of it.
Yeah.
Same in India. You also have those levy on tax havens. So yeah, overall, yeah, tax, you cannot separate tax from human beings.
So,
Debt
so,
and tax are certainties in life.
so in short, you are saying as a business, uh, taxes are almost same or similar in Germany and India, right?
A lot of big difference. I mean, you cannot save huge lump sum of money. I mean, I'm not sure. I have not done businesses worth of $100 million. So if I have made $100 million, I would have known what is the difference between saving it in India and saving it in Germany.
Yeah.
What we are making is a few $1 million every year. So we still have a long way to go to answer this question in an elaborative way.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, you will 100% do well.
Thank you.
As I can
Thank you.
see your history because I was
I
going through your
wish.
website, LinkedIn. So yeah, a lot of successes. So it
I
depends
wish.
on the person. It's
Thank you.
yeah. How do you move? So that's more important. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Let's go further.
Mhm.
Any other benefits which you get in India or any other benefits you get here?
Mhm.
Compare if we compare both the countries.
Um, Kindergarten, which is not existent in India. So my
Yep.
child, who is 4 years old, she earns nearly 22,000 rupees every month, right?
Yes.
Which is a surprising case in India. And until what age? Till 18 is
Yeah.
also surprising for any
Yeah.
Indians out there, right? So that is something that I get as a bonus for raising a kid here. I mean, obviously the expenses for each and every kid varies, and obviously it is well above 290 euros per month. But in a way, if you are getting something from the government, that's well and good, right? You pay taxes, but at the end of the day, you get back some money in some form as a contribution to the family. So that is
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
if I have to summarize, because you are paying for the taxes, you are paying for the social security, which is
Yep.
other than the taxes, both are
Mhm,
separate things, right?
mhm,
So what are the benefits? If I have to summarize, maybe I can throw some
mhm,
ideas. For example, we have the
mhm,
pension system, right?
mhm,
We have the health insurance, then we have the kindergeld, child benefit.
mhm, mhm,
The kid gets some cash from the government. Then there is free education, of course,
mhm,
which obviously is in India as well, but then
mhm.
quality would not be that competitive than a private international kind of school, right? In
Uh-huh.
a free school, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, anything else you want to add to that list?
I guess that's pretty much it because free schooling is a blessing, right? There in India, even after earning lakhs and lakhs of rupees, sometimes your school fees stings, right?
Yeah,
It feels like a burden for many of the households I am aware of. Because based on the salary, you pick your schools, you pick your universities. But here, it's all government based. Most of the institutions, most of the schools, kindergartens are run by the government. Almost, I would say 98%. There are like 3 to 4 private schools in the entire Munich. Munich is like the Bangalore of India, and
yeah.
we have like 3 to 4 international schools here in Munich, which tells the story. So that is really good. As a family, I don't have to. be concerned about my health or my family's health. I don't have to be concerned about my child's education up until what, even university, even PhD,
Yeah.
everything is free, pretty
Yeah.
much free, right?
Yeah.
Unless and until she decides to opt for a private university and a private course, I have to spend some money. But otherwise, it's typically no burden on health and education.
Got it. Makes sense. Now let's talk about the legal structure. Maybe,
Hmm.
yeah, you've already mentioned that, okay, you have company in India as well as in
Hmm.
Germany. So yeah, if actually we have spoken around this. I think you have mentioned that
Hmm.
okay, it takes 3 months roughly to set up a company in
Hmm.
Germany, especially the
Yep.
GmbH. Like, what are the kinds of options one has
Hmm.
as a
Hmm.
starter? Let's talk about
Hmm.
this as a
Yep.
starter. I don't
Yep.
know how to, because I'm newbie, for example.
Hmm. Hmm.
And what could be my option? Should I go as a
Yep.
proprietor, as a
Yep.
Gewerbe, or as a
Yep.
GmbH, or any other
Hmm.
option like
Yeah.
UG? So what do you say there?
Yeah. I mean, at the beginning, if you are starting up, if you are one or two persons in the team just trying to do something, trying to build something, and you're not sure where this path will lead to you, then you can start with UG, Unter. It's a small GmbH,
Yeah.
they say. And the second best thing is the GmbH, which is what we have, GmbH. And the third one is AG. AG is for like very big companies with 10,000 plus employees, like Siemens, AG, Volkswagen is an AG, and Telefonica is also an AG.
Hmm.
So mm, start with UG. It's like a small company which is it suits small businesses. Like if you are selling something, trying to get some revenue, or if you are an influencer trying to earn through YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, UG fits well. And if you have something prominent, if you want to raise funds and make customers believe that it is a prominent business, then GmbH is better. And UG, I guess the entire setup costs roughly around 500 to 1,000 euros, depends on what capital you want to take it with you. And the GmbH is typically 25,000 euros. It's quite a lot, but
Yeah.
if you want to start with subsidy, government allows you to start with 12,500 euros.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that means if, let's say, assume two or three partners join together to start a company, then that's a share of 4,200 euros
Yeah.
per person.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to pay 12 all 25,000 in one shot. You pay
Yep,
over the next few years, right?
yep, yep.
So yeah. And let's consider, okay, I'm new
Hmm.
to the country, or let's say I got my PR. I won't say the new to the
Hmm.
country, because this is when you
Hmm.
get the permission to start a company, right?
Yep.
At least the PR holder, or
Yeah,
as
yeah.
as
You
a
need at
family
least a PR.
yeah,
Yeah.
or as a family reunion visa holder. So
Hmm.
either of the two can start. So
Hmm.
let's say I want to start. So how many offices do I need to visit
Hmm.
so that legally I'm set?
Hmm. Uh, so the notar is one. Once you select your company name, and then if you have a legal, I mean, there is a team called Invest in Bavaria here in Munich. They support some legal sales, marketing, and they also provide office spaces for startups. It's a government-run program. You will find such programs in any part of the country, like in Karlsruhe, in Berlin, in Munich, in Stuttgart. There will be a government-funded company or agency that will support startups. Even though the startup support ecosystem is not that great as India, there are still some startup ecosystem support. So we took that. We had a legal advice, and he took care of all the initial documentation about the company and everything. He even helped us set up a notar appointment. We are done with the notar, and then obviously bank creation. You have to take that notar paper, go to the bank, create a business account, and then there is a business registration office where you have to go get this HRB, handles register number. It's the incorporation number about your company, of your company. I guess these three are the most vital things here. Rest of them, either you will get a notice to your home, to your
Yeah.
place, or you will get through it
They
as
will,
you
they will
move
they will
along.
come back to you. Yeah. Basically, you have to
Exactly.
finish the company registration.
Yeah.
That's true. And yeah, makes sense. Okay, just for the understanding of the guys, when
Mm-hmm.
we say notar, that means notary. And so
Not right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
notary, and then you have
Yeah.
to handles register. Basically, it's you can say incorporation office.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so IHK for example.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need the notary to, okay, who proves, okay, this, what
Mm-hmm.
he's doing, and then he's going to put this much money. And there could be different kinds of contract. You want to follow the
Yeah.
standard contract, which is cheaper, and
Yes.
then, or you go for a customized contract, which can be
Yeah.
expensive. You can
True.
choose. Standard
True.
structure works better, I think.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what do you say, like, finally, what are your learnings
Yes.
from all of this? Let's
Mm-hmm.
say, yeah, we have discussed that, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
person has registered the company, now you are running it for quite some time.
Yeah.
So what do you say to someone,
Mm-hmm.
like you already chose US for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some of the people might not have access to US, for example, just in case.
Yeah.
So they either
Yeah.
they have the option, okay, they are PR holder here in Germany, now they
Mm-hmm.
have figured out a product. Now shall I move back to India,
Mm-hmm.
shall I set up a business in
Mm-hmm.
India and then run from here,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
eventually if it picks up, I would
I
prefer to
mean,
continue there.
ideally, I would suggest people to stay where they are, especially when they start a business, because starting up a business itself is a challenging stuff, right? Because you
Mhm.
have to think about running a business, get revenue, get funded, put together a team that can work towards a mission. So I won't advise anybody to move a new country, let's say to US or even to India. In spite of the fact that India is your home country, I will not advise you to move to India just because you need to start a startup, right? Rather, I would say start here, right there where you are, be it a student dorm or a place, apartment or house, wherever you live in. Settle down first. Like start something, run it slowly, get momentum, put together a team, find your co-founders or partners who can help you with, and then settle down and then think about moving later on. Because when you start moving, you will have to unpack, unwind so many things. You have to do deregistration of a company, you have to book tickets, move all the stuff. You might forget a couple of things here and there, and then you have to move into a new place, set up place for you to work with. This will easily take a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Mhm.
I would say that's a lost time if you are especially willing to start up. If you are willing to start up, you have to do it right away on that same day, on that same time, right? You have to start thinking about it. Rather, if you think about moving to a new place, to a new country, just because you want to do something, then you can expect a period of at least a few weeks where you feel it as a lost time in the process.
Got it. Makes sense. So basically, you are saying that, okay, create less hurdles for yourself. Just
Yep.
start working on your product, start figuring out the things, start
So,
see, okay, see, for prototype, you don't need a legal structure even, right?
hmm
You
yep.
can just make something and then give to your friends. Okay, what do you think? Like you said, that,
hmm
okay, I called my friends. That was the part of the exercise. That,
Yep.
okay, what's your feedback? What's your input?
Oh.
And what do you say about this? Of course, not just calling the random people, but yeah, who
hmm
are in the space,
So,
right? So
yep.
makes sense. So yeah, I think we are pretty much at the end of it. So there, I would ask you a very important question.
Yep.
What would be your, lessons for the people, or let's
hmm
say suggestions,
hmm
and maybe three, four, or five, whatever, because normally I
hmm
ask this question to the job seekers and I feel, okay, three
hmm
suggestions are more than enough. So
Okay.
whatever you feel, okay, three, four, or five, what will be the top
hmm
two, top three, four, or five suggestions
hmm
that can help anyone who
hmm
is considering, okay, I want to start a company in Germany,
hmm hmm
or in India, let's say, and
hmm
in the middle of somewhere in both the countries, and
Okay.
what should be the lesson for that person?
Okay. Okay. I mean, first things first. Focus on fundamentals. If you want to build something, just focus on the fundamentals of that particular domain. Uh, don't worry about all the noise that is happening around you. Never ever compare yourself with anybody because that is most important. Because everybody's life, everybody's journey, everybody's startup. everybody's work is different from what you're doing, and their family situation is also different. You
Mm-hmm.
might have a sister, they might have two brothers, they might not have a parent, they have single parent, right? So everybody goes through shit at some point of time in their life. So never compare yourself with anyone else's journey and never feel the heat. Don't take peer pressure. Startup is like getting married, right? It is a one-time event. I mean, obviously you can start up again if something fails, but it is comparable to getting married, right? You don't marry every day. You marry
100%.
once, mostly once, unless it breaks, right? So that is one, and keep yourself visible, either in any form, right? If you are a social person, be active on any of the platforms. Be active on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatsoever. If you are not into all these social media, you can still be visible through blogs. You can
Mm-hmm.
still be active on Medium or Substack, where you can write blogs, gather your audience, because visibility is very important these days. In this age, I would say network is your net worth, because that is very important. Because today I am on this session because I know you. You know me, right? And we both are in Munich. That is another factor, and it's your audience are now getting to hear me, and my audience are getting to hear you. So your net worth is your network is your net worth,
Yep.
and that is very important. So make sure you are visible in any form, any shape or any form.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So before we close, I would like to take one interesting question somebody has
yeah,
put in the chat. I cannot bring it on the screen because it's a very long
okay,
question and then
no
it will
worries.
cover the whole
Mm-hmm,
screen. But I'll still
mm-hmm,
read out for you. This
mm-hmm.
person says that okay, he's living in basically he comes from Tamil Nadu and living in
Uh-huh.
Vienna,
Okay,
Germany since 2022. Now he wants to
okay,
start something into deep tech.
nice.
Right,
Okay.
that's interesting. And
Mm-hmm,
whenever he visits or some of the places or
mm-hmm,
some networking events, for example,
mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm.
talking to investors, I'm just
Okay,
assuming what he means, right?
okay.
So he gets this question, okay, do you have a
Mm-hmm,
GmbH, right?
okay.
or
Mm-hmm,
or basically, or do you take did you take the support from anyone who
mm-hmm,
actually who was German citizen, that okay, who
mm-hmm.
helped you did that? Because
Yep.
this question always comes, okay, what's your background, what are you doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
how did you, because
Yep.
it's totally different
Mm-hmm.
going from a job to a business or
Mm-hmm.
a
Yep.
startup, right?
Yep.
How did you handle this thing particularly and what do you suggest to him?
Yep. So yeah, I'm the founder and CEO, but I had my partners. My CTO lives here in Germany. My CPO, Chief of Product, he also lives here in Germany, in Munich. So I took support from these
Local guys.
wonderful founders, and we have a local legal team that I told you. So we got their support from Invest in Bavaria team. So that's a government agency that supports startups, early stage founders. So look for any supportive organizations or agencies in your locality and take support from wherever possible, in your case. And yes, we have a GmbH for bitsCrunch, and I'm not an all-rounder myself, so I take support from so many other people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course he can visit because IHK keeps organizing, AHK
Yes.
keeps organizing. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of organizations who provide you consulting, counseling in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. Because when I was starting, yeah, I also kind of booked, yeah, to research. I booked
Mm-hmm.
certain calls. Then, of course, I need to have a lawyer for the legal final setup. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, it works, right? So, you also said that okay, you have a core co-founders coming from
Mm-hmm.
product, coming from tech,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in a way he's asking okay, how difficult
Mm-hmm.
it was to form such core team.
Mm-hmm. It is a nightmare, trust me. Like I said, startup is like getting married, right? So how
Yeah,
tough it is to find your pair, right? How easy it is to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a fiancé in this world is obviously not so easy, not so straightforward. Sometimes you get in love, you fall in love with someone at your work, at school, at university, and you get married. Or sometimes you let that job to your parents. In India, typically arranged marriage is a case, right? They do the stuff, you outsource it, and they take care of finding your match. And similarly, here in startup system, obviously, unfortunately, you cannot outsource it because you cannot uh, say someone, okay, I need this and this guy, because at the end of the day,
100%.
you need to consult, sit and talk with that person to see if it is working out. If you are a techie, then you need to find a sales and a marketing guy. If you are a marketing and a sales guy, then you need to find a techie to run the code, run the entire platform, entire system. It is difficult to find the core team. It takes more time building the basement. It is like building a basement, right? You don't build a house right away. You first set up a basement. You just draw a hole. I mean, do a hole into the ground. Take all the sand out, and then put fresh sand into it. Form a basement before building a building, right? Before starting the building. That is exactly what startup is also about. You need to spend a lot of time putting together the blocks. It may work, it may not work at the beginning. You might have to chop and change things. It's like forming a team, right? Imagine you being a Kohli or a Dhoni. They need to know who is capable of bowling 50 overs or 20
Mhm.
overs, and then they also need to know who can bat 20 overs. Otherwise, the team doesn't have a good rapport, doesn't have a good run into the World Cup. So yes, it is tough, but it is doable.
Perfect, perfect. Very, very correctly or beautifully answered. Okay, so last question is like, okay,
Mhm.
you experienced first day and you finished
Uh-huh.
6 months,
Hmm.
right? Of course, all both the days were different, and then must be interesting in different ways,
Hmm.
right? So, but yeah, so what was the journey like? Okay, the moment you finished six
Hmm.
months, okay, I am here, I have arrived, right?
Obviously, I felt okay. Oof, I survived. Because the first 6 months are the toughest space because you need to form a team, try to get funded, put together pieces of block one by one. Sometimes you end up doing bad hires. You might have
Yeah,
to fire them and then rehire. So it's always madness at the top. But then once it slowly settles down, the upcoming months are relatively easier. So it's not a lot of tough job going afterwards.
wonderful. Yeah, and is learning German important? Someone asking.
It depends on which field, which domain are you operating, right? I mean, learning a language is always advantageous, be it German, be it French, or any other language, because having an additional skill is always gonna help, right? Because you can always say, I know German, I can speak in German. You can quickly switch, like a switch, right? You can move from Hindi to English to German. That's always going to be an advantage for you. So if you see even a slight advantage of learning something or knowing something, go for it. Don't sit and wait. Okay, let somebody validate. Let Vijay say, okay, German is important. No, not like that. If you even sense a 1% advantage of knowing an extra language or an extra word, just go for it.
Wonderful. Yeah, of course, it adds value. Okay,
Yeah.
one person is asking, okay, are there any special platforms for making for forming a startup? These are very common in US.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
you will
yeah,
find,
yeah,
or maybe some networking
yeah.
events in
Yes.
India too now these days.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you say about Germany?
In German market, it's very tough to be honest. Not a lot of startup. It's there is no Y Combinator of relevant ecosystems here. In US, we have Y Combinator. In India, we have local angel networks, Mumbai Angels, Chennai Angels. We have angel networks, and there is a big startup ecosystem in Bangalore. Like guys like Nikhil Kamath from Zerodha. He's running a crazy stuff there. Brings out a lot of new entrepreneurs and investors from the ecosystem. So here in Germany, it's tough, but you can use meetups.com. There you can search for startups and VCs meeting. There are a number of meetings happening every day, like in
Mhm.
Nuremberg, Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, and so on. Just go attend those meetings. Most of the meetings are free in nature. Just go there, show up, look at what others are doing, and share your knowledge. And also make use of the social platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn. In this case, they are getting to know this chat through you on LinkedIn. right? And a couple of other potential platforms. So be always active on socials. Remove the noise. If you want to focus on particular stuff, stop seeing reels that add no value, but rather focus on something that adds value.
100%. Yeah, just to add to this, yeah, like you said, you meetup.com, and I think there is one
Mhm.
more app. I actually forgot the name, but yeah, there you find the startup events, and
All
eventually,
right.
what happened that okay, I attended one or two events there, and
Hmm.
I got access to some kind of network, right?
Okay.
Then this group is kind of creating different WhatsApp groups, saying,
Hmm.
okay, Munich startup group, Nuremberg startup
Hmm.
group on WhatsApp, and then they keep
Okay.
organizing such events. You go and physically meet people.
All right.
I have attended few of them. It was quite interesting. So
Okay.
yeah, of course, options would be there. It's just that okay, you have to fish them out. That's
Hmm.
the most important thing. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, perfect. Okay, so wonderful. So it was, I
Yeah.
can say, quite interesting, inspiring,
Okay.
and
Thank
a
you.
lot of things to learn. And kudos to you for the success you have got, and
Thank
then
you.
hope you get 100 times more. So that's most important. Yeah. So
Thank
it
you.
was quite
Thanks a lot.
wonderful session, I can say.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Perfect. Let's close then. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.